Well, tomorrow is the game that before conference started we said everyone was looking forward to. The first one's already happened, and now the one in Austin, Texas versus Oklahoma. And well, one side has held their part of the bargain, is keeping up the hype and making this look like an epic matchup. The other, on the other hand, has not, would that be the best word? Not done it? Oklahoma is, they're not technically number one, but since UConn lost, they are number one until Monday if they win Saturday. And we'll talk about that. But they're number two right now, technically. So they're number two team in the country. They've got Blake Griffin, probably the best player in the country. And they've got guard play and role players that really pick up the slack. Texas. Texas has no identity. Texas doesn't know what they want to do. We thought they knew what to do, what they figured it out against Oklahoma State. And now it looks like, and I've said this before, it looks like we just kind of took them by surprise. That we changed something up, it worked, they weren't prepared for it, we blew them out. But then we played at the road against Colorado and on the road against A&M. We beat Colorado, but going into overtime with the CU, that's really not saying much. And then we lose to A&M. And I know this is the fifth time in a row we lost in College Station. But as I said before, our situation doesn't allow for that continuous mistake. Now, we go to Saturday to play the Oklahoma Sooners, who this is probably the best team they've ever had in OU. They've only lost one game this year on the road to a very tough Arkansas team, and heck, we got beat by them too. Undefeated in conference. I think 24, 25 wins. I can't remember. You OU fans will correct me. And then you got Texas with 7 or 8 losses now. So here's the question. Can Texas win this game? Or a better question, can Texas keep this competitive? I can sit here and try to be objective, and I can sit here and say that, I look at it and there's no way that I can see Texas winning this game, or Texas is going to have to be at the best game of their life. And OU is probably going to have to come in sleepwalking for Texas to win. But you do see that I've got Longhorns in the background. I'm wearing a burnt orange shirt and a hat. Go to the university, and I follow this team. So when I walk in that building on Saturday, and I'm going to game day as well. Game day for all the Texas fans here in Austin. Game day, doors open at the Irwin Center at 8. So I'll be there early, get in there, go crazy. And when all 4 of them pick Oklahoma, which they should, and I'm not going to, this is not one of those videos where, we're the underdog and how dare they pick against us. No, they should pick against us. If you're completely objective and you stand away from this, you have no allegiance to either side, and you look at the two teams, it doesn't matter that it's on the road, you would probably pick Oklahoma. But what am I going to do when I get there? I'm going to boo them. I'm going to boo Digger, going to boo Hubert and Bob Knight and Jay Billis. I'll just boo Jay Billis just for the heck of it, though. But, I'm going to go hardcore. And then when the clock hits 8 o'clock and the horns around that court, I'm going to be excited, jumping up, yelling, OU sucks, and cheering on the team, expecting to win. So do I think Texas can win? Yeah, I do. Now, what's got to happen? Well, this is what's got to happen. See, this is where it makes it difficult, though, when you have to talk about the logistics of it. Blake Griffin's going to get his. Let's just be real. Blake Griffin's going to get his. If we can shut Blake Griffin down, we just all deserve a pat on the back, because no one's going to do it this year. But the guy that really scares me, and it's guys that against Texas, even when we were really good, last year and stuff, small guys killed us. Outside shooters killed us. Why? We run that 2-3 zone like nobody's business. When I say that, I mean we continually run it to death. And it works a lot of times. We don't get killed by big guys a lot. Blake really, last year, even though he was really young, but it was still Blake Griffin, we shut him down in both games. We didn't allow him to take over. But the guy that I think is probably going to kill us is Austin Johnson. Austin Johnson can legitimately sit there and knock down threes from halfway past between the three-pointer and the half court. He's the kind of guy where when the clock's running down on the shot clock, they throw it to him and he'll jack it up. Guys like that kill Texas. People shoot us out of a zone. Well, I would say they shoot us out of a zone. We still stay in the zone and allow them to shoot. Team shooting percentage against us is insane. Even when we have a really good defensive team, teams that are able to shoot from outside can consistently knock it down against us. In this building, on the road, doesn't matter. So Texas is going to have to find a way to get out and play man deep. But here's a problem when they fall in, when they run man. Dexter Pittman, who I want on the floor. I want him on the floor. He's probably our best offensive threat just because he's the most consistent guy on the team so far. But he's not that good at man D. He's good at the zone, moving back and forth, inside the paint. But if he's got to go one-on-one with someone, and that one-on-one guy would probably be either Blake or Taylor, those two guys are going to have a lot more moves than Dexter does. So that's where Texas is kind of stuck there. Well, what do you run to stop this OU defense? OU offense. Now, on offense for us, I still say, and we are going to, and even though, maybe we just took Okie State by surprise, but that was the best we looked all year. So, yes, and Doge needs to play again. And Doge needs to be the point guard. If he can continue to be aggressive. Because against Oklahoma State, as I said, the first thing he did, the first two possessions for Texas, he drove right to the basket and scored. You've got to make the other team respect the dribble. You've got to make them respect the drive. He didn't do that against CU, and definitely didn't do it against A&M. You've got to do that. And then that's where it opens it up for AJ and Connor and guys like that. Now, another guy I want to talk about, and I've been harping on a lot because he's probably one of my favorite players. He's from my area. My high school team played his high school team, Damian James. Last game against A&M, he had 2 points. And it was off of a offensive rebound where no one was around, picked it up off the ground and slammed it. 2 points. Most of the time, Damian James, and he was against the Aggies, the best athlete on the court. And you get 2 points. That's unexcusable. He has got to be a big factor in this game. And he started to last time he played Oklahoma. In the second half, right at the first of it, Damian James came alive. Because Barnes sat his butt on the bench because he wasn't playing like anything. He came back, had a fire under him, came back, and led us back into that game. We got within 4, it was like 50-54 at one point, and then we fell apart, and Oklahoma took us there. And that's what OU does. See, I look for Texas to keep this close, even in the second half. But that's not going to mean that we're going to win this thing because OU does that. Oklahoma, they've let teams come back, teams fight, and it's not because, OU is letting up. OU is one of the top teams in the country. They're going to keep getting other teams' best shots at them, but they've been able to take it. And they end up getting on a run with about 3 minutes left and winning by 10, winning by 15. It doesn't matter who. So, who do I think is going to win this game? I got to say Texas. Do I know why? I don't know why. I know why. It's because I'm wearing burnt orange and I'm going to the game and we cheering hardcore. Because I know that I can say, but for people to pick Oklahoma, that's fine. And I actually do probably agree with you. So, but legitimately, I do think Texas can win this game. Texas does have the talent to win this game. But I think I've been giving them a pass before, because I keep saying, basketball's a forgiving sport, and we'll get it by the tournament, blah, blah, blah. It's time now. It's less than 3 weeks away from tournament time. And if you don't know your identity yet, you're not going to find it then. So if Texas can, and the thing is, even if Texas does pull this game off, you still can't sit here and say, we beat OU, we're better than you. No, that'll be the second game Oklahoma's lost. We've lost 8. So let's keep it in perspective, guys. Do we need to? I will gloat and be happy about it. But even if we do win Saturday, we're still not out of the doghouse. So I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to be cheering my butt off. The entire crowd is going to be crazy. And we're going to expect to win. Will we win? I dang sure hope so. Because if we don't, we're going to be in deeper trouble than we already are. Oklahoma is probably one of the best teams in the country, maybe the best. To knock off the best would be big time. But you got to bring your best. I don't know if I've seen that from Texas yet. Let's hope we see it Saturday. Hook 'em horns.